All right, looks like we're live from Houston. Better get some of those frogs out of my throat. Yada da da, ba da da da, da 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 da, da 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 da. All right, I'm a talking. I'm a talking. I believe I am talking. I think I'm on YouTube. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right, coming to you live from Houston. Houston, Texas, baby. Heavenly Father, be with me. Help me. Be with me. All right, I'm talking now. I'm here. I'm a talking now. Been kicking back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am live in Houston, Texas. It's 9 a.m. Probably the start of the news, the top of the hour. And yes, I am here. Let me check my volume on my OSB. It seems to be where it usually is, so I'm going to leave that alone. And alrighty, there we go. Thank you, sir. Okey-doke. How about some poetry? Bacon, hapless in his choice, unfit to stand the civil storm of state, and through the smooth barbarity of courts, with firm but pliant virtue, forward still to urge his course, him for the studious shade, kind nature formed, deep, comprehensive, clear, exact, and elegant, in one rich soul, Plato, the Stagirite, and Tully joined, the great deliverer he, who from the gloom of cloistered monks and jargon-teaching schools led forth the true philosophy, there long held in the magic chains of words and forms and definitions void. He led her forth, daughter of heaven, that slow ascending, still investigating sure the chain of things, with radiant finger points to heaven again. Morning, sir. Okay. Try that again.
Hello there, Matt.
Good morning, sir.
So bizarre to hear your phone ring after I'm already talking to you.
I'm sure it is.
All right, got you. We're all good to go. We got another 2 minutes for the news, and then 45, about a minute and 15 seconds until we get to you.
All right, just tell me when to start talking.
Oh, I certainly will.
All right.
You can count on that.
Okay.
And how are things at the hotel today?
They're all right. I woke up a little better this morning. Didn't eat pizza at 11 o'clock last night, so I'm in good shape. So,
It's the little things that make all the difference in the world.
boy, it is. I paid for that Monday night, that Monday night pizza. I paid for that till about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So, anyway.
So I got both your interviews. They're all ready to go.
Good.
Which one are we going to do first?
We're going to go Stuart McMullen first.
All right. We're good to go.
All righty, Chief.
All right. Let's see. So we got about 45 seconds till we're out of the news.
Okay.
He couldn't be happier about how lucky he is. Detroit was given the wrong lottery ticket, but he probably wouldn't say that. His best ticket hit for $2 million. The Michigan Lottery says, though, they had stopped at a gas station to pull a little beer in his tire and needed change for the machine. He bought a $10 Lucky 7 scratch-out ticket, but the clerk handed him a $20 ticket by accident. He did offer to exchange it, but something told this guy to keep that ticket. Well, it worked, and that lucky customer who chose to remain anonymous does not entertain a lump sum of about $1.3 million. John Thon's
Good morning, folks. So happy to be here with you on another beautiful morning in the Texas Hill Country. But I have a confession to make. I'm not in the Texas Hill Country. I'm down in Houston, and came to the Republican State Convention that was, and then isn't, and canceled so gloriously at the last minute by Mayor Sylvester Turner of Houston. And I have to say, it's really a shame that I'm sure it took a lot of fortitude for him to stand up with four or 5 days left and cancel one of the largest political gatherings in the country with 4 days' notice. So anyway, very sad, but here we are anyway. The convention was canceled, but the meetings before the convention were not canceled, and those were the temporary committee meetings: the Rules Committee, the Platform Committee, and the Priorities Committee, which all met yesterday. And my hat is off to those guys, by the way. Great job. Those guys started early Monday morning, worked late Monday night, did the same thing again yesterday. It looked like when I left the Marriott last night that it looked like they were packing up. They may have been taking a break, but at least, hopefully, they all got a decent night's sleep. I have to say, my hat's off to the committees that I attended. Their curiosity, their questions, their serious. The taking of every person, the issue that walked up there, and how serious they took them, just amazing. I'm so proud of those committee members, because they're not getting paid anything, and it's a tough job, because you get a lot of criticism and got a lot of pushback from all over the place, and but it's the Democrats, they say this is democracy. This is what democracy looks like. Well, we all know we live in a republic, but we practice and use democratic processes those are the processes we use, but we have a republic. And so watching democracy in action yesterday was just very cool, and made me feel very good. I have to say, this is my third convention I've attended. The second convention where I showed up on the working days. My very first convention was 8 years ago, and I didn't even know anything about the working days, and I didn't know much about anything. And so when I got there on Thursday, it was very sad to find out that all the work had been done. And so since then, the two of the three conventions that I have, two of the last three conventions I have attended, I've gone on the work days, and it seems like there is a different feel in those rooms. And I asked a couple of people about that last night. The conservatives, true conservatives, seem to have more of a presence on those committees. There seems to be less pushback on true conservatism. And so that is very promising to us, and you can feel it in the room. And there were times in the past where you would be testifying and bring up a conservative issue, and you could just see the looks on their faces were, just different, and you wouldn't get questions, and it wasn't that way yesterday and Monday. This year, it seems like there is a movement of true conservatism going on in the Republican Party. Heaven forbid. I know that's probably going to upset some of our top dogs who have turned away from true conservatism. We're a lot of disappointment in Governor Abbott, a lot of disappointment in Lieutenant Dan. Very definitely disappointed in our Attorney General, who wouldn't even stand up for the Republican Party, wouldn't stand up for the freedom that we as Texans should have, the freedom to gather and the freedom to meet. And our own Attorney General turned against that and sided with the partisan mayor of Houston. And so anyway, I think there is a good movement going on in the Republican Party, and I feel good about that. So I got some great interviews for you today. My old friend and our local resident, Terry Hall, who lives with her family over in Ingram, and her and her husband, I think her husband was here. I thought I saw him. And definitely her daughter, Jacqueline Hall, was here and has been. Every time I turned around, they were in line waiting to testify in front of a committee. So I grabbed Terry, got her off in the corner, and I had to put a stranglehold on her to keep her under 12 minutes so that we could get her all in during commercials. But she did good, or between commercials. She did pretty good. We brought it in right at 12 minutes. And so a good interview with Terry Hall that we're going to run in the third quarter. And then a very interesting thing that's been happening that I saw for the first time. Now, they told me they were up at the Capitol last session. And we're up there quite a bit, and the Capitol's a pretty big place. I did not meet these men. They're being called the Dads. They have an official name. It is the Americans for Parental Equality. And just some fast things I didn't know. In fact, when they testified in front of the committees, it was obvious that a lot of people in the committees did not know that this problem existed. And so I'm going to dangle that out in front of you, and we're going to be playing the Stuart McMullen interview in the second quarter today. So anyway, let's see. Hill Country Preppers. Steve's getting his group. They're going to be meeting again at Buzzy's at 6 o'clock on Thursday. That would be tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. I do not have in front of me all the specifics on that meeting, but they are meeting with someone who is their speaker is someone apparently who is an expert on epidemics, on reactions, on how to deal with epidemics and stuff. So someone really perfect timing. Steve has been doing this for a long time, and he knows how to bring the right people in at the right time. So Hill Country Preppers at Buzzy's tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Go early, gets you some barbecue. My problem there is always, trying to figure out which dessert to get. So y'all go treat yourselves to some barbecue tomorrow night. And let's see, got a couple of election results for you. You may already know that, but when we get back from the break, I'll give you a couple of local election results. And by the way, but very, very importantly, I want to say thank you so very much to the folks who donated to Go Past the Hat for Matt and made it possible for me to be here. So y'all stay tuned. We're going to be right back after this short break with an interview with Stuart McMullen. All right, we are back. Matt Long reporting directly from Houston, Texas. I'm guessing it's hot and muggy outside. I haven't been out there yet. It looks hot and muggy. I don't know. I haven't been there yet. I mean, it could be, 68 degrees with a breeze coming out of the north, but I'm kidding. It's July. I'm going to step out there and just burst into liquid flames, I'm sure. So, anyway, like I said, we got a good interview coming up with you here in a minute. Stuart McMullen with Americans for Parental Equality. You can go ahead and look that up on Facebook while we're waiting if you want to. So let's get some election results real quick. Lanny Pope, yay, Lanny, State Board of Education, number 5, position number 5. She ran away with that election, 78%. And as I promised, if there's even 2 people in Gillespie County that voted for Robert Morrow, I'm going to hunt you down. Well, of course, there's no way. I can't tell. But 199 people did vote for the other guy, Mr. Robert Morrow. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm completely flabbergasted. Did you know he didn't even run a campaign? In fact, he's quoted as saying that that his campaign was actually a performance art. He had not intended to win. He didn't spend any money on his campaign. He didn't do any advertising. Didn't go to any whatevers. And I think this is about 199 people in Gillespie County bothered to go vote for the only position in the runoff from the Republican Party, the only one, he got 199 votes. Got 199 votes. So, Gillespie County, I'm sorry. There's no way I can figure out who the 199 are. But listen, if you're one of them and you really seriously your vote, seriously, I'm saying this seriously, and if you think that was really the true choice, get in touch with me. Write me a letter, Matt at ranchradiogroup.com. Send me a note. Tell me. I'm really curious. I want to hear why that is happening. All right. Congratulations to Larry Letha, the new sheriff. There's a new sheriff in town. Hopefully in November he will be on the ballot as the Republican in November. And the way Kirk County votes, I'm sure he will be your new sheriff. So congratulations to Larry Letha. In one victory, I'm not going to mention a lot of this, just one statewide race, but we got rid of one huge rhino. And very, very interesting, kind of broke all the rules of election rules, but Dan Flynn was defeated. Dan Flynn, an incumbent who has been in the House since 2003, endorsed by Abbott. And listen, I could talk a whole program about Dan Flynn. He's an embarrassment to the Republican Party, and he was beaten by a small town, small business man from a small town, Royce City. And that's where my Captain Kirk lives, in Royce City. But Brian Slayton, congratulations to Brian. I'm sure he will take that victory away in November. So, listen, we're going to start the Stuart McMullen interview right now. So, Bob, take it away. We are back. Thank you so much for staying tuned in. I'm reporting live from Houston today, and yesterday I grabbed some interviews. You just heard the one from Stuart McMullen, and we're our good friend and Hill Country resident and mother of 10. Yes, you heard me, mother of 10. Terry Hall. Had a great visit with her yesterday and managed to get her to slow down for me for about 12 minutes for the following interview. So, Bob, roll the Terry Hall interview, please. All right, we are back. Listen, this is Matt Long. I'm reporting live from Houston, Texas, where I believe the air is about to burst into flames. But that's all right. I think I'll make it. I've got my flame screen on today. My wife made sure that I brought lots of flame screen with me. I believe it is SPF 2000, and so I'm protected today. Thank you, honey. Interesting, in the last bit of the Terry Hall interview, she mentioned that lobbyists were there. I was quite surprised. I knew that delegates had the right to go and testify in front of these committees. I guess I really didn't know that non-delegates were allowed to testify. Well, apparently the lobbyists who want your toll roads, who want to charge you to drive down the road, those lobbyists were out in strength yesterday. And I think Terry said in that interview, and I wasn't able to hear it this morning, but I was there yesterday when she recorded it, and I believe she said that that's why it's so important to show up. Yes, that is why it is so important to show up, because the lobbyists, the people that are getting paid, they show up. And so there you go. That was Terry Hall, a good friend, a warrior for the conservatives in the state of Texas. Make sure today that if you don't have notifications turned on for the Matt Long Show on your Facebook page or the Fredericksburg Tea Party page on Facebook, turn on notifications for those, because we're likely to be sending out quite a few live videos today. And also, if you want to go to the YouTube, I have a channel on YouTube called The Matt Long Show, and look for it there on YouTube. I have not made that public. We were using it as really to stream this program, and that is what Bob and what they're using back in Kerrville to keep this program going, is the YouTube channel, The Matt Long Show. Now, I don't have any video up right now, but I will be working with Jeff Peterson today, and we're going to have some video. We're going to be doing our best. We're going to set up camera in a corner up there and do as many interviews as we can pull off today. So if you will check into the Matt Long Show on Facebook, turn on your notifications, go to the Matt Long Show in YouTube and turn on notifications, and we'll be posting some live videos up there today. Now, I want to tell you an interesting story yesterday that came out of one of the testimonies, and it was a young lady who was testifying about the issues she had as a single mom when her husband just kind of packed up and left, and she has a son with special needs or one child with special needs and two others, and men being men, he packed his bag and left her one day, and her struggle as a single mom, and how she wished that the courts had given the father more access to the kids, and that the Texas family laws were more fair, and that's what you heard from Stuart McMullen. So anyway, she finishes up her testimony. She ran overtime, and the chairman, Mark Ramsey, knew she had a little bit more to say. And so Ramsey, Mr. Ramsey, after she had finished and was already over time, he said, "Ma'am, I understand that you requested 30 more seconds." And she said, "Yes, please." And he said, "Okay, you can have the 30 seconds. The woman at the microphone bowed her head and prayed. And everybody in the room, with very few exceptions, bowed their head in respect. The woman prayed. She was not ashamed of the gospel. She is not ashamed to proclaim Jesus Christ as her Lord and to pray for guidance in front of committees in public. Can you imagine that, praying like that? And so it was just amazing to see that happen. And so this morning, as I was looking for a scripture to go along with the program, Romans 1:16 was all I could come up with. And here's a short paragraph from David Barton that accompanies Romans, the Romans 1 in the Founders Bible, which is a great Bible. It's the New American Standard Bible. It is but with chucked full of American history. So here we go. Jesus declares, "Therefore everyone who confesses me before men, I will also confess him before my Father who is in heaven. But whoever denies me before men, I will also deny him before my Father who is in heavens." And that's in Matthew 10. He further promises, "For whoever is ashamed of me and my words, the Son of Man will be ashamed of him when he comes in his glory." That's in Luke. The Apostle Paul, therefore, attests that if you confess with your mouth Jesus as Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. The Apostle John reiterates that Christian saints overcome Satan because of the blood of the Lamb and because of the word of their testimony. And they did not love their life even when faced with death. That's in Revelations. Clearly, the importance of a public profession of personal faith in Christ is a consistent theme of the New Testament, and the Apostle Paul's ringing declaration that I am not ashamed of the Gospels, Romans 1 and 16, should guide the words and behavior of every Christian. Folks, I want you to pray today for the goings-on in Houston, for these committees that are meeting and making big decisions, and I want you to pray for those who are traveling, because there are people who came from all over the state for this event, and they're all going to be heading home. Looks like I'm going to stay one more night, and we'll head home tomorrow afternoon. So keep all the travelers in your prayer. Pray for the Republicans on the committees in Houston. And folks, we'll see you tomorrow. I'll try to bring some more good interviews. So Matt Long in Houston, Texas, signing off. We'll see you tomorrow.